And welcome back to the week of Who Would Wins. Technically, I've gone beyond my scheduled date, but seeing as I would have had to do gone beyond March, but seeing as I would have had to have done a Who Would Win as my normal schedule permits today and Wednesday, and it's how I usually run. I usually just run all the way through to the Wednesday. So we're still going, and this one comes to us from Brandon Whitman, who asked the question, who would win, Doctor Strange or Mr., and I want to get this name right, 1 second here. They've got, oh, come on. They got to have oh, you sons of bitch. I'm on his wiki right now just so I can get the actual kind of powers right. But they don't have it. Come on. Pronunciation. Mxyzptlk. Come on. I know there is a name here. Okay, trivia? Maybe that's it. Darn it all. That is really irritating. Mr. Mxyzptlk. Gilbert Godfrey. So, which is the one I used. Now, initially I'm like, oh, it's gonna be no contest. But then I read up on his weaknesses. I'm like, oh, this is a guy hurt a bit. So basically, Doctor Strange, we know Doctor Strange. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. He is basically one of the strongest magic users in the Marvel Universe, basically being the strongest magic user on Earth, with Doctor Doom being depowered. With Doctor Doom not being depowered, Doctor Doom actually would arguably been the strongest on Earth. But with it, various amounts of spells. So basically, his powers are whatever he needs them to be. He's also actually quite a skilled hand-to-hand combatant. Can fly thanks to the cloak of levitation. The Eye of Agamotto does have some time manipulation power, supposedly, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which we're not doing, by the way, I'm just using the picture, it actually possesses the Time Stone, which is why he can manipulate time. I believe the Eye of Agamotto does have some time manipulating capabilities, but not quite on the same level as the Time Stone. So basically, his abilities are what they need to be. However, with any spell, it does take a little bit of effort, time, sometimes actually saying the name of a spell, like abracadabra or whatever the word would be. By the sounds of time, by the holy Hogan of whatever. Basically like that, it takes a little effort for him to, cast a spell, because he's human. Despite all his power, he's human. He's also extremely intelligent, being a former neurosurgeon, and therefore has, first of all, a lot of experience with the human body, just in generally highly intelligent, and, can remain level-headed in pretty dangerous and stressful times. Mr. Mxyzptlk, and I'm just gonna, if there's no L by, I always put an L by, it's like, it's not Mr. Mxyzptlk tip, okay. I'm gonna try to get this in I'm gonna try to get this. So give me 1 second. Mxyzptlk. So Mr. Mxyzptlk is a fifth-dimensional being, kind of like Batmite, but kind of more powerful in some ways, who is pretty much a god. He can affect things on a multiversal level like that. His magic, he is magically imbued. His magic, as it say, he's nigh omnipotent and can do virtually anything imaginable. He can manipulate anything and everything under him. Teleportation, he can literally reappear in an instant just by, back and forth. He wants to make Bizarro reappear on Earth just by snapping his fingers. So he doesn't need to use actual magic words. He can just manipulate things. What the hell is this term? Gesturifty? The hell is gesturifty? I mean, I know what it is. Why did it just call it freaking reality alteration? That's an actual word? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this up, and I'm reading. He basically has the ability. He can manipulate logic and fundamentals of reality on a multiversal scale. He can create structured life forms of full complexities that don't exist just by thinking. And in that regard, he can also make any living organism vanish and become non-existent with a single thought. Gesturify? Hansel? That's the word for it? Just name it. Is that the actual word for it? Gestrify. Someone let me know if, you know what, I'll look that up later. That's an actual term where someone made that shit. That sounds made up. And that's weird saying about a comic book character, but that literally sounds like someone made that term up. Anyway, reality alteration, manipulation, and complete control of that. He is fundamentally immortal, so he can survive most attacks, making it impossible to defeat him without exploiting his weaknesses. He can regenerate and heal himself instantly and has nigh tolerance to pain. He can fly even even faster than Superman thanks to his magic and cosmic awareness. He also has his abilities in journalism. Good for him. Power limitation. Now, this is going to be the key factor in this fight, right? I mean, he's got mental illness, has an irrational compulsion and attachment towards practical jokes and things of prankish, immature nature. He really takes fighting seriously and normally spends his battles goofing off or playing games, uninterested in harming or killing his enemies, which doesn't actually make him a true villain. Just makes him kind of a being of he's a being of chaos, is what he is. But power limitation. His actions are governed by restrictions that he establishes for himself. If Mr. Mxyzptlk decides that he will return to the fifth dimension, if someone convinces him for example, like in the animated show, spell his name backwards or have super speed and spell it twice, then he's obligated to comply with the regulations. Once banished, he must remain in the fifth dimension for a minimum of 90 days before returning to Earth. When he is banished, all the damage he caused will be reversed by any spells or magic he used on Earth. So that is going to be the real key factor here. Because let's be clear. Let's just say, it's like, oh, yes. I'm doing the Gilbert Godfrey version, by the way. Oh, you think you're such a well-versed wizard? Well, see if you can do this. Ta-da! It's like, oh, I've never seen those before. So, yeah, I can do it okay, Gilbert Godfrey. So it's like, let's go, chump, you and me, right now. So yeah, in terms of actual pure power, no, Mr. Mxyzptlk has Doctor Strange beat. He just has him beat in terms of raw power. However, Doctor Strange is a very level-headed individual most of the time, and he's powerful enough that he could take on Mr. M, we're going to call him for the rest of this because I'm getting tired of mispronouncing the name. He could take on Mr. M. He could take on Gilbert for a little while. It's kind of like when he fought Dormammu in the MCU movie. He could take him on he could hold his own for a little while, but ultimately would lose the fight. Same here. He could hold his own for a little while, and I'm talking about as Doctor Strange as a whole, obviously. I just used the MCU one as an example. And for a little while, he could hold his own, but overall, he can't really take on him in terms of pure power. What he can do, though, is outsmart him. And basically, so you like games. It's like, well, let's play a game. It's like, oh, what are the rules? Okay, I know. And then, he'll set a rule for him. And I'm going to tell you right now, Doctor Strange wins that fight in that case, because it's not going to be a real fight for Mr. M, because he's not going to take the fight seriously. He's just doing it to screw around with him. And Doctor Strange wants him gone. So Doctor Strange is a very capable guy and would be smart enough to outsmart Mr. M. So, yeah, it's actually going to be surprisingly, despite the raw level of power, it's going to be Doctor Strange. And quite honestly, if you put him against the majority of individuals, who are smart enough, who are actual strategists and can outsmart individuals through, cutting intellect and whatnot, Mr. M loses a lot of those fights. Like, he would actually legitimately lose to Batman, because Batman would easily outsmart him. So, it's kind of, and I know I've used Batman as example. Hell, Flash could probably outsmart him, because he could think God knows how much faster than he could, and just think of any way to get him to, do whatever the restriction was that would send him back. So, look, in terms of a raw power fight, yeah, Mr. M wins the entire time. In terms of what would actually happen, Doctor Strange wins the fight. Now, would he win 100% of the time? I wouldn't say that. I'd say he definitely wins the majority. I think he wins a good solid 85 to 90% of the time. But I think there's a scenario where Mr. Mix wins about 10%, just because Doctor Strange can't handle the amount of power he's dishing out. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if you think different. If you do, that's cool. Put in the comments below. Let me know. Let's have a fun little chat about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Super, Magic, What If, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. We can do it at some point. I'll be back in a little while with Magic, because we got actual Dominaria spoilers up. So keep an eye out for that. And thanks for watching. Later.